So this week on Not So Christian Brothers, this is quite exciting. We have a competition.
We have incredible competition. I mean, we've divided society. Some people actually say we may have created fringe political parties on the back of this, but we couldn't possibly comment.
Right. So we had a big discussion about where Catholics keep the toasters and where Protestants keep the toasters, and it sort of divided the nation. Tefal came in as well. Thank you so much to all our friends at Tefal, and gave us 3 of these amazing toasters that you can see there. And we're going to give a toaster not necessarily to a Catholic, a Protestant, and another denomination of religion. We have 3 toasters to give away. What do people have to do?
First of all, you don't have to be Catholic or Protestant, okay? So remember, he's a boomer. He kind of says mad things, and we have to kind of
He's a mad boomer.
preface that, right? He's just
Like
slightly
Father Jack.
disorientated old fella, right? But all you have to do is like, subscribe, follow, and tag somebody in the post. So if you have a friend who you think likes a bit of toast, or more importantly, could possibly like our podcast, hit us up on socials, hit us up on YouTube, hit us up on Spotify, hit us up on Instagram. Whatever you listen or connect to us, tag, subscribe, follow, but tag somebody so that we can see you. And then Terry, who is an independent arbitrator, has very kindly agreed that he's going to put his foot into the basket and pull out a name. So his hands sometimes can be a bit discriminatory. He recognizes that sometimes with his hands he does things inappropriately, but his feet are very
less
lacking on
judgmental.
bias. No judgment from the feet,
No judgment
right?
from the feet, no.
Terry's toes will touch the winner. If you think about it.
Terry's toes will touch the winner tomorrow.
Well, we're going to give you a couple of weeks on it. All right. Do it now.
Same parents, different timelines, and united by chaos. Strap on, strap in, for the not-so-Christian brothers.
It is Not So Christian Brothers. The after show. We still call it the after show, don't we? Yeah, I suppose it is the after show. Justin Caffrey, my brother, Colm Hayes, myself, and Terry's on tech.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Terry Tech. Terry's very grey today. Is that grey? Sorry, I don't have glasses on. If anyone is watching this, because I drove here with my sunglasses. I forgot to bring my other glasses, and you guys said it just looked weird if I was wearing my sunglasses.
It really
You've
would.
got sunglasses. He's put on sunglasses, Terry.
I think both of you should wear sunglasses just
There.
for this episode.
Okay.
That makes me feel better now. Now you can see.
That's looking good. It's looking
Yeah,
good.
it feels like we're doing this from the south. France.
We can
Well, it
change
is
the
nearly
name.
the south of France. I mean, it is quite warm here.
It's very warm because you sold the air conditioning.
Well, it wasn't getting used to it.
Well, why would it get used to the winter?
It would get used right now.
we only have a couple of weeks a year.
I actually opened up my wardrobe and found a big fan. I didn't realize it was there. This sounds like a weird thing.
Is that this
She
band that's
jumped
followed
out.
you around since 1987?
Yeah. She jumped out and stabbed me. No, it's a really big fan. I didn't realize we had. So if I brought it up here now, it'd actually, you wouldn't be able to hear. It's so big. I don't know when we bought it, but anyway, it's not an interesting story.
It's not an interesting story. No, I'm glad that you pointed that out.
No, I like to
It
stop
definitely
myself.
would have been funnier if it was a real fan, and she's just been living in your wardrobe for the last 6 months or something like that.
We just did that gag, Terry.
No, I know. But I don't think you sold it well enough.
Okay, no, thank you. You're right, yeah. What would have been funny was if it was a fan who'd been living there for 6 months and just jumped out.
Oh, that's what I just said, Colm.
But this time it worked. At the end of the last
All
show,
right, then. If you're still with us, thank you.
the WhatsApp groups. Remember saying that this
Yes.
girl texted in some WhatsApp groups that were really, really funny. We got loads of people coming in with weird WhatsApp group names. We have one with the siblings called the Steel Pole Gang.
Yes.
And that's because you used to have a gang, isn't it?
No, it's because we are a gang. That's our siblings.
Oh, right, we're the gang. The
Yeah,
Caffrey
and
gang.
on our road in where we grew up in Santry, this is just a big steel pole. So it was,
right at the top, yeah.
Yeah, so it was really just pragmatically kind of built around. There was a steel pole on our road, and we're a gang.
Well, the Steel Pole Gang. Sounds good, though, doesn't it?
Sounds
like we
good.
should
It
all
sounds
be.
like maybe we were a jazz band from the 70s.
I was thinking more that we should all be on horseback, the Wild West, robbing trains.
It definitely sounds like he's hard.
Thanks, Terry. Yeah.
We are, Terry.
You want to meet
Especially when you've got your toes on display.
you want to meet the sisters. You don't mess with Grania Miriam. They take you down to Chinatown.
And if not, they'll hang you off a steel pole.
There you go. That's the idea. Okay, so this woman Susan sent in these two groups, which I thought was really funny. First one, she's in a badminton club, and they have a little WhatsApp group, and they call it All Cock and No Balls.
I like that.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
All cock and no balls. She's got another one. So unfortunately, she had to have a hysterectomy a couple of years ago around December, which was difficult for her getting close to Christmas and all that. Anyway, she's in a group of other women who've had hysterectomies. Strange group, God bless them all. And this group is called No Womb at the Inn.
Nice.
Yeah, because it was December when she set it up.
I mean,
that's clever.
If a man was castrated, he could probably use the Badminton one as well
All cock and no balls.
for his. Maybe for other people who've
But
been
when you're
castrated.
castrated, you've no cock. Oh yeah.
No, you have a cock. You just have no balls.
Oh, do they not?
I think you just. I think it's
No,
just
if
like,
you're a eunuch, there's nothing there at all.
Oh, but like eunuchs are different things. I mean, you have to go back to like Roman times for eunuchs.
So there's not one in jail, Eunuch Burke. Oh, sorry, Enoch. Oh.
So a eunuch, they get rid of everything?
They get rid of everything. My memory of it
Explains a lot.
in classical history class, the diagrams that were put up, it was no cock and no balls.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
how did
yeah.
they go to the bathroom?
Well, it's actually so the Romans. A lot of families were actually famous for having eunuchs. So they used to be. I think it was like your third child or whatever. If it was a boy, it'd be a eunuch because generally you would get into the court of power. So like in Rome or then in Constantinople, which was the center of the Roman Empire, particularly in the latter kind of 200 or 300 years of the Roman Empire. Eunuchs were really important because generally they could sway power. You know, they weren't going to get taken astray by looking for a bit of action because it had all been chopped off. No cock and no balls.
They were very loyal, weren't they, as well? Because in other periods of time through royal families and palatial blah, they had eunuchs in working for the royal family because they were very loyal because, again, they never strayed. And they were always... They were always ready to work because idle hands do the devil's work, but they couldn't do the devil's work. They couldn't even go searching for it.
It still doesn't explain. How did they pee?
Through a straw. No, I don't know. There must be an opening there somewhere.
Are you going to Google it?
I'm going to Google how does a eunuch pee? How did a eunuch? I don't think there's eunuchs anymore unless it's for medical reasons.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty severe idea in terms of what you'd like to do, but yeah, there was always a kind of a mystical connection to them as well.
Oh my God! One of the first Googles you come up with is when you put "how did eunuchs" is "how did eunuchs pee?" We haven't been the only people thinking about this.
It's an interesting...
Eunuchs urinated through the urethra. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Oh, that's urethra. Sorry. They urinated through the urethra just like anyone else, though the process depended on the extent of their surgery. In some cases, only the testicles were removed, leaving urination unaffected. However, in cultures like Imperial China, where the entire penis and testicles were removed, urination was complex and painful.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Oh! During healing, eunuchs had to keep a quill or a reed inserted in the urethra to prevent the opening from sealing over. Post-healing, they lacked the muscle control to direct the flow. They had to half squat, using one hand to support the area and allow the urine to drain, often causing the stream to spray or dribble.
Oh, really?
This damage to the urinary muscles.
Question now.
This damage to the urinary muscles caused lifelong incontinence. Because of constant dripping, they frequently wore wrapped cloths to absorb the urine, which led to the historical reputation for a distinct pungent odor.
You know, Trump is famous for smelling a piss as well.
He said, sorry?
Yeah, Trump smells a piss. If you go onto the internet and type in Trump's incontinence, a lot of people were talking about it for the last 10 years. And apparently if you spend a good long day with him, there's a good old stinky smell of piss off.
And is that because he's dribbling?
Apparently, he wears nappies.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's totally incontinent.
Do you reckon he could be a eunuch?
Oh,
be
no,
a
he's not a
eunuch.
eunuch. He says all the kids.
Oh no, he's had all the kids and stuff. He's just old and incontinent, you know. And yeah, he apparently like.
I still never understand how they give so much power to such old people.
Well, look at the Pope.
nappies.
Yeah, like the
The
last
nappies empower them
president,
to
last
keep going.
president
Is that
was
what you
in
mean? Are you
nappies
like
as well.
outraged by old people's nappies?
No, I'm outraged by the amount of old people that get put in power. Like, you know, it's
But you know
pretty
what? Do
crazy.
you know why that happens?
Don't know.
Do you vote? Or are you engaged in politics?
I'm not a politician. No, I do not.
Do you
Do you
vote?
vote?
Do you vote? Or are you engaged in
I
politics?
do vote. Yes, I do.
Do you vote?
Yes.
Do you watch the news?
No, God.
So that's why it happens. Because it's people are disengaged. So the problem is that society becomes disengaged because they think, I'm fed up with it all. And then the people who actually have a chance to change things are the ones who step away. So then you have the fringe extremes who are left, and they vote in old people. Why? Because old people say, let's kick out all the blacks. Let's
Right, yeah.
stop the immigrants,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. And that's the problem. Like, so many people nowadays are disengaged from the news, which I get it, right? It's not pleasant what you have to hear. But equally, nature always fills a vacuum, and the vacuum gets filled with extremists.
I know, and that is unfortunate. And we've got to a stage where the evolution process of our politics is that there's very, very little difference between any of the parties. You know, like even to the extent of Sinn Féin now, it's hard to pick them apart to Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil. So the very safe people, who are the elderly, right, will give their vote to, historically, the Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael, regardless of what they think. And then it's the other parties, as you say, young people coming along. There's nothing else to fill the gap other than extremism.
Well, the
There's
point
no
is
middle ground.
that more and more Irish people are disengaged with the news. They don't like RT. They don't watch news. They don't watch Sky. They don't believe in anything. So I can guarantee you, my prediction is by, where are we now, 2026?
2026.
By 2030, we will have a fringe political party probably vying for power in the next election because people are stepping away. So people step away because they're outraged. But the problem is, if you step away and you're outraged, nobody's actually listening. The only way you can make people listen is by voting or by actually engaging.
There was another report, I think we mentioned it here, that in the last, since COVID, close to 40% of people have turned away from the news, and they don't listen to the news, they don't engage with the news on television or whatever. And what they don't realize then is they're getting all their information from an unfiltered source, which is either TikTok or Instagram. And it's like old days of Nazi propaganda. If somebody keeps saying it again and again and again and again, you eventually believe it. And you see this, certainly with the far-right extremism on TikTok.
And
It's
the far
clear-
left. And the far left.
No,
right?
I know,
It's
on the
both
far
sides
left,
of
but
the
my
aisle,
algorithm is bringing in the far right because that's who I hate most.
Yeah.
The far left are sort of my hippie happy friends, right? But what I'm seeing is that it's the same lie, and then you see it again and again and again and again and again. And even though I know it's a lie about what happened in this park in Clonsilla, for instance, I'm now starting to doubt it. Even though I'm going, hang on a second, Colin, be honest. This is the way it works. This is the algorithm and this is propaganda. They constantly beat the same message with the same drum. And eventually people go, jeez, it must have happened because I've seen 10 people on the internet talking about it. you know?
So I think, look, for context, the far left being the hippie happy friends, I think the far left are incredibly dangerous people, right? I mean, look at Anne Widdecombe, who was murdered quite lightly by somebody from the far left.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't a normal, let's say, far left person who had very strong views or whatever. It clearly looks like this guy was on the edge of society and that he adopted far left views.
But
That wasn't what he did.
Look at German left wing politics. You know, look at the Munich Olympics. Like these, the problem is that once you start to separate and
What do you mean
segregate
the Munich
parts of
Olympics?
society,
That was a terrorist group.
Yeah, but they were linked to left-wing extremism.
That was the PLO.
Or sorry, not the German Olympics. What was the when they kidnapped the German industrialist and killed him?
That was the Black September group or something.
Black September group.
Oh no,
right?
but
And they
like,
still exist.
No,
Right? They're still prevalent in Germany.
but I think if for argument's sake, I think the far right are historically much more dangerous. The far left get sort of hippie happy radical. The far right take over entire governments, countries, and then invade other countries. If we want to go back to Nazism, nationalism, that is.
Well, fascism was actually more to the left, and
No, it
communism
wasn't.
was
No.
completely to the left, right? So
Fascism was never to the
Is
left.
the far side of anything not just bad?
The other side.
The far side of
It
left,
is.
the far side right. It doesn't
the
like
point is it all meets around when you get to around the other point. But like
No, fascism is not a liberal agenda, so therefore
Stalin
it's
killed
not
more
left.
people than
I'm not.
than most of the
I know.
people,
I'm not
right?
chatting about Stalin. I'm just said about.
Oh no, but left and right. My point is, there is nobody when they go to the extremes that really does anything positive for society.
I totally agree. Absolutely, and that's why I'm saying this. The middle ground in politics. We had a sort of a middle ground at some stage. The Social Democrats were sort of messing around in the middle ground. Labour at one stage were in that mix as well. We had even the DL, the Democratic Left, and we had, but now there is no middle ground. Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, let's face it, are going a little bit right wing.
That's not true, because this is about the 100th episode of Not So Christian Brothers, and you just agreed with your brother for the first time.
What did I say to him?
You said that's totally true.
About what?
About what he said just prior.
Oh no,
second ago.
well, if there's a logical point made, which is not a rare occurrence.
100 episodes in, and he agreed with you, Justin.
No, I do agree that if there's the vacuum isn't, filled in the centre, then you're always going to get extremism.
But if you look at UK politics now, so Andy Burnham is going to come in as the PM.
Yeah.
He's probably got 18 months to make it work, and if he doesn't, then it's going to be extreme right-wing government.
And Farage is destroyed, or is he? Is he going to come back from the £5 million
I think
donation?
I think he will. I think look, Trump survives these kind of things. People who are just generally incensed and outraged don't really care about people
I know.
taking money.
Yeah.
I don't think, what's his name, Count Bin Face.
Count Bin Face, yeah.
I mean,
I think it's going to be close for
I'd
him.
say there's a reasonable chance that he gets pretty good levels of votes.
I think he could win.
Yeah.
Because I think Clacton, isn't it Clacton? That's the area they are pretty incensed about Nigel Farage. I mean, what's coming out all the time, the way he didn't actually say what this money was for and where it came from and all this sort of stuff. And when I received it, I wasn't a sitting MP. And then they did a big investigation into the Reform Party. And he's a 78% shareholder. He actually owns the party. The party was created like a company, and he created it. And he owns. So while he was given that $5 million donation, he was a 78% shareholder of the party he claimed he wasn't involved in.
Yeah,
Until he became an MP. Like, it's just nonsense.
Farage tries to claim that he's a very successful businessman and he has all this history and background, which he doesn't, right? He's got a litany of failed companies behind him. So this is just a grift opportunity for him. But, the master of grift is Trump, right? So the playbook is actually just keep rattling on about, immigrants and danger and you're not safe and blah, 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 and you get away with it. Which, by the way, interesting, I started watching yesterday on a flight. There's a new documentary about the Murdochs on Netflix. It's a 4-part series. And part 1 is about Rupert Murdoch's rise. And one of his first paper in the States is the New York Post, which he buys in the 70s. And then it was all about, the dangers of society, immigrants coming in, riots on the streets,
Right.
be careful about black people, try and find safety for whites. Because the 70s were actually not dissimilar to where we are now. Economically, there was a lot of inflation, people were feeling disenfranchised, and all of the same things chimed. And that's when Reagan got in, which, by the way, you know what Reagan's slogan was when he was elected?
No, go ahead.
No, let's all feed the eunuchs. I don't know what was.
Let's make America great again.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's not new, right? And that was Reagan, who was getting schooled by Cohen, who was Donald Trump's absolute guide in terms of how to behave in society and the world. Colm's a very famous New York lawyer.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, whose name I can't remember now. He was like the Peter Mandelson of the right in US politics. Roger Stone.
Okay.
Anybody ever wants to see something wild about politics, watch the Roger Stone documentary online. That is just mental.
Is that not just a politician's job? Is just to divide, keep people separate, constantly cause fear in people, and then drive them apart and have them fighting against each other? Because it's a magic trick. Look over here, what I'm doing with my left hand while I do what I'm really doing behind my back with my right hand.
There was a,
Well, it's not their job, but that's a classic bait and swap, right? So why is the politician doing the job? There's a few very small percentages, I think, of conviction politicians who actually care, but most of them are just there to ingratiate themselves.
There's a very good movie, I think it was in the 70s or the early 80s, called The Candidate. Really good movie about this. I think it could have been Robert Redford, but it's about this
Robert
guy
Redford,
that comes into politics and he really, really wants to make a change. And he sees the way politicians, and he's going, no, I'm coming in, I'm going to make a change. I want to help people. His intentions are absolutely on par the way a lot of young politicians are when they start out. But then for him to get the road sorted out that gets the school bus to the school so the kids get to school early, which is a very good thing to happen, he has to give in onto something else. He has to go to the governor and say, okay, I'll give you the vote, even though he knows the governor was caught at a strip show 6 months. So slowly but surely your ethics and your morality is chipped away at. And and this is what happened in the movie. And while he still feels he's trying to do something, he has to sell part of his soul to do that. And then eventually at the end, there's more of his soul sold to just helping other politicians or gaining favor than there is of him doing actual good intentions. And he realizes you can't at the end become a politician with just this single view of helping people, because it can't be done. And democracy will not. And that's one of the worst things about democracy, is you think it's good, but you have to engender favor from other politicians or other parties to get what you want. Good old fascism, you just do what you want.
Well, look, I'm actually warm to the idea of
Fascism.
More kind of Chinese type, lengthy, long-term government. I think if you
Without all the human rights abuse, I'm sort of with you on that.
I mean, I'm not for 1 second saying we should be rounding up the Uyghurs, but
Well,
when we think about when we think about who we should be winding up, rounding up.
I think we're winding up everybody.
This episode will definitely wind some people up.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, just right into the realms of democracy, corruption, and a willingness to, take an extra few quid to be bribed in any direction.
Yeah.
We have a giveaway.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Good one. Yeah. So because of our controversial comments regarding the toaster and where Catholics and Protestants keep their toaster, which has been scientifically proven, and
By scientists.
by scientists
Who prove
and,
things.
and anthropologists who look
yes.
deep into the cultures. So Protestants keep it under the counter. Catholics just don't care. Tefal contacted me and said, look, really to sort of simmer down this controversial argument, debate, whatever, we have 3 toasters. These are top quality toasters. Will you stick one up on the green screen there?
I put them up on the green
Okay,
screen. That's
Top of
her
the range
there.
toasters, like AI toasters.
These are like 120
Top of the
quid for a toaster. Tefal, beautiful. You'll see them there.
And you won't want to keep this in your cupboard. If you're a Protestant and proud, you'll be still thinking,
Yeah.
I know normally I don't like a few crumbs on the counter, but this is a special.
Top of the range. This is the sort of toaster that you'd bring on holidays with you.
Yeah,
It's like parking your Ferrari in your driveway.
It is, yeah. And you'll shine it every day.
Yeah.
And you'll talk to people. Hey, guess what I got? I won a Tefal toaster. So because we were talking about Catholics and Protestants and we have 3 toasters, I was thinking, should we give one away to a Catholic, one to a Protestant just to appease all that, and then one maybe to an atheist?
Well, I think, look, you're obviously Gen X, and you're Gen X. Is that everything?
I'm
No,
not
it's
a boomer.
Jesus, no, you're ancient, right?
Yeah, I'm an ancient boomer.
So you're ancient. We have to recognise that there are many cultures in Ireland now. So
Yeah, but do they take toast?
well,
I've never seen.
you can't just say like if you're not Muslim or if you're not Christian, you can't have the toaster. Like
no,
it
it's
has to be open.
Protestant or Catholic.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
but
non-Muslims
what
are
I'm
allowed to
saying
have
is that
toasters.
if you're Muslim, you should be able to get a
Oh well,
toaster.
should we do then Protestant, Catholic, and others?
No.
So one
No.
definitely to a Protestant, one
no,
definitely Catholic,
no, I
and
think-
other religions can just battle it out for the third one.
Oh my God! Right, we're about to get cancelled again.
No, it's just open to all people.
Anybody
All
who likes
religions.
toast and watches our
Yes.
podcast, irrespective of race, creed, or color, is welcome to compete for a toaster.
Compete.
Yes.
the toaster Olympic Games.
Now we will want to see you preparing some toast in your kitchen and sharing it, and we will be particularly focused on whether or not your counter is spotless.
And what particular clothes you're wearing, because you can identify certain religions by the clothes you're wearing.
Oh my God!
Oh, right.
Can we
Okay,
just-
let's
can we
let's just
not
leave
go-
that.
Move
Listen,
on from this.
I mean,
Right.
Protestants don't wear speedos. That's what I'm saying.
So, what do the people have to do to
Okay,
get a
okay.
toaster?
So what we want you to do is we want you to like. So the post we on Instagram. Sorry, we want you to like. We want you to tag somebody else, and we want you to subscribe to the podcast. So that's all you need to do.
YouTube or Spotify,
Yeah,
whichever you
yeah,
choose.
YouTube and Spotify. So once we see who is subscribing to it, we'll know them. And we want you to like the post. Obviously, like, follow, and tag somebody and subscribe. 4 things, toaster's yours. Yeah?
Beautiful.
That was complicated. He got there in the end. So you might have to listen back to it. But the toasters are going to be a giveaway. You know, get on, share, get into the comments. My God, we kind of incensed people with the whole idea of toasters.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more to come. I mean, we really want to get a little bit more philosophical in the context of how toast separates society. But that's probably next week, or maybe a special in the month of December around toast and religion.
I think that, and I think also we need to delve into other countertop kitchen equipment.
That separates people.
Yeah. Like, what does a Protestant keep on their counter?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
and if you win a toaster, please do take a picture and share it on Instagram and tag us so that we can see you with your toaster, and that would be amazing.
Wait,
We'd love
and,
that.
and some made toast as well. So
Made toast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So are you like, have you burnt your toast? Because remember, I think we spoke about this last week. Carcinogenics.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah,
burn
we
your toast.
went to that, yeah.
So make sure your setting is a kind of a medium one where you want to just have your toast so that it's crispy enough, and then the butter melts.
I love soft toast.
Do you?
That's soft toast is warm bread.
It's called
you know
bread.
that? Yeah. Soft.
You don't have a toaster, do you, Terry? That's what you're trying to admit here.
Yeah.
Where does Terry keep his toaster? He doesn't have a toaster.
Yeah, there's a single line between when warm bread meets soft toast.
No. It's when do you know when you butter your toast and it just goes soft in the middle? You put an excess amount of butter on it and it softens up that warm toast.
You don't have a toaster, do you? Do you have a grill? Do you grill your toast?
I like grilled bread. Yes, I do like grilled
Well,
bread.
there's a competition you can enter.
No, I can't win the toast, and that'll be unfair on our viewers.
Okay, that was Not So Christian Brothers. Thank you for watching and enter the competition. Look at that toaster.